Wow, we got Mecha Mauler over there, Mr. T Mauler, She-Hulk Mauler. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek X Chic, and we are back with the second season of Invincible. I'm very excited for this. I really enjoyed season 1 of this show. It was surprisingly good and fun. And yeah, I just love things that are in the superhero genre with a little bit of realism dashed in. But yeah, we are on to season 2, and we're going to see what's going to go down now that, as far as we know, Omni-Man is not going to be in the picture. And Mark is starting to forge out on his own as his own superhero after going through a pretty harrowing first season. So, highlights of last season really were Mark discovering the truth about his father, the truth about the race that his father belongs to, and the mission that he was actually sent on for Earth. And really, just Mark kind of trying to figure out where he fits in all of this, because Mark is not 100% part of his father's, what was the name of their? Viltrumites. He's not 100% Viltrumite. He's also human, and he has love for humans. He has a human friends, a human girlfriend, a human mother. And so he really couldn't get on board with what his father was trying to say, but he was also pointing out the fact that his father wasn't 100% in belief of the way of life he'd been raised in either after spending so much time on Earth. But in the end, we had a really crazy finale with Omni-Man versus Mark, and of course Mark lost because he does not have anywhere near the experience in battle that his father does, and also he didn't really want to hurt his dad either. And we see that Omni-Man came very close to ending Mark's life, but in the end he remembered that that's his son and that he actually does love him, and he got so conflicted with this feeling that he has for his son versus the mission that he's been on for centuries that he ended up shooting off outside of the Earth and leaving. But we do have the warning though that Viltrum has every intent to still come to Earth and take over at some point. So even though Omni-Man might be gone, there is still going to be more Viltrumites showing up at some point. So Mark now knows this, and he is basically now training himself up so that he can become a better superhero, not only to kind of fill the gap that his father has now left, because as we know, his father took out their entire superhero league before he left, but also he knows in the back of his mind he's going to have to figure out how he's going to prepare for the eventual return either of his father or of everyone from Viltrum or whoever the Viltrum might send. So lots of weight on Mark's shoulders. With as far as his friend group, we saw that there were other supers that were there, like Adam Eve, and I'm trying to remember the name of the other people in the group. I'm sorry, their names have slipped, but you know, the girl who turns into a big girl, or into a monster girl. I think her name was Monster Girl, yes. And just other people that are part of their group that are kind of filling in the gap of the superheroes that has been left. And we know that in Mark's personal life, he started a relationship with Amber, I want to call her. Sorry, it's been a while, guys. I have not rewatched in a minute. I'm interested to see how we're going to kick off the season, how we're going to set the stage for this season, and who our big bad's going to be, because it was pretty much Omni-Man all in season 1. And since, like I said, I think he's not going to be a factor this season, I'm wondering where that's going to take us. So that's enough of an intro, I think. Let's jump into the episode. But just before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions here to all sorts of things, shows like this, as well as many more. And if you'd like to support me on this journey or any of the other ones that I do, I'd love it so much if you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, just show some love. You know, put a little thumbs up here on this video, as well as leave some comments below. I love reading the comments, and I try to get back to everybody if I can. So that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Mark? No? Yes, someone who can fly anyway. Oh, wait, are they training?
I've been hit harder before. Like, way harder.
This is good practice for him, though, because it's sad, but he has been hit harder. His father literally whooped his behind in 16 different ways. But that's one thing we learned last season, is Mark can take a beating.
Why can't you trust me?
Okay, this isn't training.
After what you did!
What? Who? What? Is this a dream? What's going on? Is this for... I'm confused now. I thought maybe this was training. Bruh. I would think from last time you would know.
I thought he'd see the truth. Like you did.
I think he was trying to lead us away.
Dark Mark.
So we must be close.
That means no one goes hungry, no one dies from cancer, and no one ever messes with Earth again.
But you also become pets.
But I came around, and you will come around too.
You mean with
And in the long
everyone
run-
just bodies lying everywhere? That's how you guys take care of everyone, huh? That's how Viltrum takes care of Earth?
Your new Viltrumite rulers are on the way, and it's time to join us in welcoming them.
Oh, Black Samson?
Don't forget, I'm invincible.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get the title screen.
You all feel like we're the bad guys because my dad and I...
Oh, this is just on loop? My gosh. That would be enough for me to be like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. So what is happening? Is this actually like a flash forward? Oh, an underground city. Smart. But how long? How long can you hold out? That water doesn't look safe either.
That's what Rex thought too.
She cut her hair off. It's business.
Oh no.
Guess they found you. Well, that went well. That's a hell of a blast. Kind of hot, but that's only one of them. There's two of them. Where's Mark? Okay, well, that only slowed him down for 13 seconds. Noted.
You too will die.
Sure.
It's true. But just a really
You
long
should
time
have
from
died
now.
at birth.
Damn!
Stop this, or I stop you. Please.
I'd rather die.
What? Eve, I would never kill you.
You sure?
I'm sorry you had to do that, Mark. She didn't leave you a choice.
So I would never kill you?
Just paralyzed.
Huh. So that's what you were practicing on those protesters last week. I couldn't figure it out.
So, I can visit.
Hi. Since you were
That's the worst? No, literally, this is like the depths of evil.
Yeah, way ahead of you.
Where'd you go?
What the hell was that? A portal or something?
who cares?
Look at that. Deep down, Mark was evil the whole time. Should have known. Karma Police. What a great song. Also, really, a good song. Not just for this moment, but... Oh, wow. Revisiting the site of where your life changed, eh? That was dark. That was very dark. But very realistic if Mark decides to go that way. Come on, everybody. Karma Police. Arrest this man. Toxic mass. What you kids know about Radiohead? Not an elephant man. That's disrespectful to swing someone around by their trunk. Mark has really gotten a handle of his flying. That's awesome. This is what... I like this. I love them showing Mark just going through the motions like this and how like it's become so much easier for him, but also he seems to have a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Detachment? Because look at his face. I lost myself. Oh my gosh, she's still, yeah, the trauma, the PTSD would still be very real. Interesting, he didn't intervene. I guess he's got to make choices. He can't always be there. Oh, Mark, you need a hug. How you doing there, Mama Bear?
You don't have to go back if you're not ready.
If you mean school. Because why? What's the point? Oh yeah, there's that.
See you later, Mom.
Constant reminders everywhere they look of the destruction that that man brought, but how bittersweet it is for the both of them, right? Because he's the enemy, but that's also their husband and father, you know?
I don't want to eat that garbage. I want real food.
I said get back.
Further.
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 Don't try to bargain with me. We've got security turned up to 100 on YouTube. New cameras, new guns, new doors.
Why would you tell them that? That is dumb.
See you around, Pete.
Okay, but who did that and why? That should be the bigger question, but I guess it's better than prison.
Holy shit. What happened here?
Yeah, what happened there?
Tragedy. But don't worry. This isn't your world.
Got you. That explains the beginning.
Angstrom Levy.
Hi, Angstrom. Why'd you break us out? What do you want? Let me guess. You can open portals between dimensions.
I mean, I don't like to brag.
It's pretty cool power, though.
I need your help with a very specific problem.
Last time we helped someone else with their very specific problem,
He didn't go well.
didn't work out so well for
He was smarter than the both of you.
Working with the two of you is a real ethical and moral stretch for me, but I don't have a choice.
I know this voice.
Now, I can't force you to help me, but I will leave you here forever if you don't, or somewhere worse.
Ooh! We like that. Whose voice is that? It's gonna bother me. I know his voice.
Mark.
Like, I would totally not come back to
Mark
school ever.
Grayson.
Really, sir?
I...
Wow. Okay.
I can't imagine not ever seeing my dad again, and my dad's a dick. I hear your dad was
Well,
an
I'm not
okay
surprised,
guy, though.
considering the way you were acting.
See, I'm not an asshole. I'm not an asshole.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you're trying to convince yourself there, pal.
Todd's right. My dad might as well be dead.
But he's not.
I'm the reason all those people in Chicago died.
You're not.
I should be out there, making up for all my mistakes.
Is that why he's doing it? Okay.
You stopped your dad and saved the planet.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
You don't owe anyone anything.
I'm not so sure.
Okay, so now we know why he's been so detached, but I get that. I guess he feels like now, knowing what he's capable of, he could have done more, but he didn't know at that time. And again, he didn't want to hurt his dad.
Going back to school made me realize
I can't
it's
go
a
to
wrong
school.
place for me right
I was
now.
about to say, why are you even there, bro?
I'm stronger. I'm ready.
No, you're not. You're not, Mark.
Yeah, emotionally, no.
I can save lives.
You did.
Billions.
But you also went through an emotional tumble dryer, and I need to know your head
Thank
stops
you.
spinning before I let you back in the game. So no.
Yeah. You need to deal with your mental stuff and your emotional stuff, Mark.
You can't stop me.
Oh,
I don't need your permission to be a superhero.
very Omni-Man of you to say.
You know who else said that to me?
I'm not my dad.
You sure? But he's trying not to deal with his emotions, and that's what a lot of people do when they don't want to deal with the hard emotions. They distract.
This thing's still going on?
It's not going well, sir. The Guardians could use some help.
Wait, what, huh?
They could really use
Invincible? Still no title screen?
There's only one way this kid goes back out there, and that's on a very short leash.
Yeah, I understand why they can't trust Mark. And just seeing that alternate universe, very much understand. And I mean, I know that that's a different Mark, but still.
And I want to be president of America!
Okay.
Astronaut!
Okay. Why don't you do the astronaut thing first, pal? Seriously, we can send you into space right now. You try it out. My God, the carnage that they're doing to the buildings.
There's a multi-level parking garage beneath this intersection. I
So
will
you're gonna
detonate
go
stress
ahead
points in
and
the concrete and drop the
yeah,
giant.
just
into it.
destroy more prop. My Lord. This is the downside of this whole superhero thing, is that like infrastructure suffers. Like, my God, it's not quick to build these buildings back, you know.
You okay?
I'm not sure.
Rex!
Nice.
Come on! Why are you so mean to me?
Right? He just wants a hug and he wants to be an astronaut. Send him to space.
Don't know. I couldn't move. My heart was racing. I was all sweaty.
Panic attack.
Laughing.
That's fear.
Don't worry. You'll get used to it. Just like the first time you used the toilet.
Oh, right. I forgot. That's right. He wouldn't have used the toilet before they got the new body.
That's not gonna cut it. You'll need twice as many processing units.
Ha ha! This is exactly why I broke you both out of prison.
Okay, but why?
Not long. But two questions.
Yeah, about like you're just ordering them around?
One, what do you need it for? Two, What's in it for us?
Exactly. They're not going to work for free. They're criminals.
And I was born with the ability to access all of them.
That's cool.
You must have been a fun kid to babysit.
Right? How do you even tether him?
Remember that world-changing battle between Omni-Man and Invincible a month ago? In most other dimensions, they teamed up and took over the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the bad guys.
I mean, it's starting to become a question now, isn't it?
War, climate change, cancer have been solved somewhere else.
Interesting theory.
I can be the conduit of that knowledge.
Okay. But what's in it for you, though?
I can save billions upon trillions of lives.
Can you?
Sounds like fun. But saving lives?
I was about to say, that's really not for them. Also, this seems a little too altruistic.
Meet the family.
Oh my gosh, it's a council of kings, but invincible.
They're all alternate versions of me.
Yep.
They don't have my ability, but they have something almost as valuable.
Which is?
Intimate local knowledge of their home dimensions that will help me figure out what they do best and how to get it here. Help me do this, and I'll give you any single dimension you want, as long as you promise not to hurt anyone.
Okay. Yeah, this guy does not trust the other version of himself. Yeah, it's basically Kings all over again. This guy thinks he's being benevolent, but he's really not. Because something tells you that machine is not going to leave all those people with their minds intact.
Debbie.
Wait, is this the speedster's girlfriend?
Olga. The back door was open, so I let myself in.
Man, why are you cooking in my house? Can we talk about that? Before you feed me?
Italy. That's where you need to go for pizza. I know it's obvious, but it's true.
If you say so.
I was there just last year
with your psychotic murderous husband. You missed him?
When I saw you with that knife, I thought...
Really? I would never. Too obvious. Poison would be much better.
That's my girl? Well played. But honestly, did she eat the food too?
You can be sad and angry at the same time.
Yes, and that often happens with grief.
Said I didn't matter, that I was a pet. 20 years. 20 years, and I was a goddamn fucking pet.
Exactly. If he didn't have invincible balls, I'd tell you to smash them in, sis. He deserved it.
I don't have anyone to talk to, so keep it all inside, and it's like acid
Exactly.
eating me away until I'm hollow.
That's so true. You got to let those emotions out, and that's what Mark's doing right now. He's keeping the acid in.
What's this?
Uh-oh.
Something that helped me.
A cult?
Hey, Mom. Oh, hi, Olga.
That's Miss Olga to you.
You can't help him until you help yourself.
She's not wrong about that. She does need to take care of herself. But also, Mark's not ready to be helped yet. He's got to get to a point where he feels he's ready to take help from anybody.
Ongoing, repeated fuck-ups of monumental proportions.
That's a little harsh, Cecil.
It's not, though. I don't know if you saw the wreckage you guys left.
Takedowns take too long and the public pays the price.
Yeah.
So narrowed it down to a failure of leadership.
Phew. Off the hook.
I mean, that's how I feel all the time when I'm at work.
A change.
Oh, he's back.
Moral's now in charge. A couple thousand years of experience should turn things around.
We hope.
The team needs more muscle. Meat, bulletproof.
Someone new? Ooh. Cool suit.
I mean, other than have the most obvious name ever. Bulletproof?
Okay, Rex.
I do everything you wish you could. And that's rich coming from a guy called Rex.
Right? Thank you. Thank you. You walked into that. You walked into that, Rex. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Red for filth.
Come on, man. I know your type. Be better.
Ooh.
I was trying to be that.
Damn. But really, y'all gonna have to learn to get along, though, because this is not good.
My leadership has been suboptimal, and that's a problem. And like any problem, it needs to be
Exactly.
fixed.
It can be fixed. It can be grown. He's going through some stuff, right? New body, new life. Like, let him work through that. Then maybe he'll be ready to come back for leadership. I'm not so sure whether or not, what's his name? The God-Man is the right person, though, to take over, though. He's got a lot of rage.
So this is where you tell me how you are.
I don't know. Okay, I guess.
Lies.
When was the last time you went out as invincible.
Oh my god, they're not gonna do the title screen the whole episode, are they?
What if that happens? What if I become him?
That is a
and I don't even
choice,
know?
Mark. That is not an inevitability.
You're not your dad.
Exactly. And you can still like the good parts of him. He wasn't all awful.
I'll follow orders. I'll let you make all the calls. Just put me back out there.
Someone get this kid an earpiece.
All right, well, here's your chance, Mark. It's not that I think he's gonna go rogue. It's more that he's so angry right now, he's not gonna necessarily think or act rationally. That's the problem, and I get where Cecil's coming from. But I also get that he's scared that Mark might still be more like his dad than not. But that's not fair.
Open your portals, and we'll connect to the other 9 machines.
Got
Transdimensional
it.
interconnects are stable. Bringing them
So I was like,
online.
why are they doing this in this dimension? But this makes sense now. That's a lot of brain juice to go into one person, though. Does this portal dude even know if he can handle it?
Your throne.
And you trust them? Like, they could have thrown in something that was sideways. Just because you're altruistic doesn't mean that they are.
Once we start the process, it's impossible to stop. At these power levels, severe brain damage would be the least of your problems.
Yep.
Nice.
We'll see, though, because we saw that when he was working with Robot, they did keep up their end of the deal. Did he get the one? There was the one that didn't seem to want to get in the machine.
We're laughing. Don't say that.
Right?
Why not? That's why, you idiot.
Yeah, it's like you did just jinx us. Thanks.
Hey, shut it down, or I take it down.
Make us.
You have no idea how much.
Oh, really? Okay. But they're stalling, I guess. Because, I mean, if Mark shuts it down, he might kill this guy.
Stronger than he looks. Maybe. No way he lives up to his name.
Really?
He's definitely not invincible.
We're not getting the title cards. Oh, damn. Oh my God.
You were using other us's? You said we
I
were
mean, you're
special.
clones. Stop it. Come on. Let's be real. Couldn't he bring more marks by that? But who is the guy with the giant roided out arm? This is what. Him! That's terrifying. Wow, we got Mecha Mauler over there. Mr. T Mauler. She-Hulk Mauler. Damn. It's not the first time he's had a foot to the face, sadly. Truthfully, whatever these guys are doing, it's nothing as bad as what he went through with his dad. That's the sad part. None of them hit as hard as his dad.
Oh, we're gonna do both.
Shut up and enjoy the show.
Oh, Mark. Teeth again?
Quit whining. We're almost done.
Save him. Save him.
I won't build my utopia with blood. Stop! There's too much power!
You'll kill us all!
Mark's the only one who survived that. And what were the ramifications? Don't you dare end the episode. Oh. Yeah, Mark survived. Barely. What did that do? A portaler? A portaler? Dying mid? I'm
I
scared.
guess he really is invincible.
I hate them this episode. I hate them so many times.
Look, I don't know what they were up to, but I'd say you stopped it pretty fucking spectacularly.
I
This
can't
was a
believe I'm
mess.
saying this, but listen to Rex. Amor will check the site for survivors and report back to me.
Understood.
Think there's any chance any of those guys survived? I feel like it's a bad... Oh, geez, she got sauced. But you know what? She deserves it.
Are you okay?
What?
No.
No, I'm just
Drunk, tired, sad, lonely.
You first.
Oh, right.
No way, you first.
School.
Okay.
This stuff seems so mundane right now for what he's going through.
Miss Bennett, wait, this is yours.
What do you want it to say?
I wanted to say that we're going to college together.
I don't believe you. Okay. I believe you now.
That was easy.
I got in. I got in.
I
Are
guess
you
I get to
actually
keep my
gonna go?
superhero boyfriend after all.
I guess you do.
I just don't think this is the time for college. Not yet. Mentally, I mean. Oh, God. You just flying around creepily?
Cecil thinks you're on our side.
Uh-oh.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he's got a little trauma. But it's not Mark's fault. This is that whole sins of the father thing, right? It's not fair, but it's reality. Okay, that was a hell of a first episode. The first few minutes had me... Oh, wait. There's more. Did one of them survive? I'm scared. A portaler dying mid-portal is scary. You're kidding me.
Told him not to take off the damn helmet.
Oh. So the Immortal sucks at checking for survivors, apparently? Because how did he miss this?
How are you even breathing?
What is wrong with you?
What did he do to me? You did that to yourself. And this to me.
He killed so many. People I knew, people I loved. Millions died because of him.
Who's him?
Your brain's scrambled. You've lost track of what memories are yours.
Yep.
You need a hospital.
I don't think a hospital's gonna help him. Oh. Oh, yeah, I'd say you do need a hospital.
I need revenge.
Oh, God, nope.
I won't rest until I've killed.
Finally! We did get it. It's an after credit scene. Oh my gosh. That's a... Oh God, there's more.
Fine. Go. Don't worry about me.
You'll just clone yourself some more friends.
Last time I worked for anyone else.
You say that. You say that, but that's kind of your gig. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that was a hell of a first episode, you guys. That was a lot. That was a lot. The first half definitely had me messed up. I ain't gonna lie. It had me messed up. I really was like, what? How did we get... No, Omni-Man's back? How did this... But, you know, I knew a part of it. Like, I was like, either this is a dream or something, because from what we saw of Mark last season, there's no way he would just do all that. Like, not how devastated he was over just what happened in the city and in the subway with what his father did for them. Like, I'm like, he's just not going to turn that leaf and be so brazen. But again, I wasn't sure where we were going with it. But alternate universe, this is crazy. We're introducing the multiverse in this show too, on top of everything else. That's like so much to digest. That's so much to digest. But anyways, we were introduced to a new character. I guess this is going to be our big bad. I said just before we started this episode, I was wondering who our big bad was going to be this season, because I think Omni-Man's not going to be in the picture, or at least not for the majority of the season. And here we go. Well, we've got this guy. I've already forgotten his name. I'm sure he's going to have a superhero name coming up anyway. It'll be easier. But we have this portaler that's from a dimension, and he has been watching as Omni-Man and Invincible over different timelines, or different dimensions, I should say, actually, have been systematically taking over planets, or Earth, or different Earths, over and over and over again. And apparently the Earth that Mark is on is one of the few Earths where this didn't happen, where Mark resisted his father rather than joined him. So here he's thinking, all right, what I think I can do is grab all the people who are like me, all the other versions of myself, bring them to, well, I thought it was one place, but apparently it's multiple places in different dimensions, which is smart, because that way, even if one of the Omni-Mans got to them, he doesn't lose everyone. But anyway, he's like, if I get all of their memories and consciousnesses into my brain, then I will have all the knowledge of, like, the best knowledge and technologies, etc., of all the different worlds, and I'll be able to create start with my planet and create a situation that's going to be basically Omni-Man proof, right? I think that was his objective, is like, let me take all the knowledge from all these different worlds and all these different things that the best of what they have, and use it in my world to basically fortify it to a point where we're never going to be able to be taken over by someone like Omni-Man. And like, in of itself, it sounded like a good idea, but I'm always worried about people who want to have all that kind of knowledge and all that power in one place. That's always worrisome to me. Like, I do think that his belief system was still altruistic, but something like that to me definitely lent itself to a God complex. And I was like, I'm not so sure about this. But anyway, we see that that was his plan, and that he started to build a machine that was going to stream all the consciousnesses of all the different versions of him into one body. But I was like, I don't know that he even knows his brain is capable of handling that, because our brains are meant to handle one person. Like everyone's brain is meant to handle one brain, one person, one set of memories, one set of thinking patterns. So to download essentially possibly hundreds or millions of them into one head, I think he was going to snap one way or another, to be perfectly honest, because that's the brain's not meant for that. And he might think it was, but as we saw at the end, he wasn't able to even decipher which memories were his and which ones weren't. But we saw that the version of himself that was in the scene that we were brought into the episode with, that man had a lot of anger. He was very, very angry. He'd been fighting against these guys for, like, his world, as you saw, was a complete war zone. He had nothing but hate and resentment towards Invincible and Omni-Man, but it looked like it was much more directed towards Invincible, and understandably so, because his was the face on the the advertisements being like, you need to give up because we're going to fix everything. Like, really, he became the face of Earth's takeover more so than Omni-Man. So all this anger and hatred that he had, he was directing it towards Mark, or that version of Mark, especially seeing that Mark went through, like, he was cruel, right? We saw that he was not only just coming in and hurting people or taking them out, but paralyzing Adam Eve instead of just taking her out, because he wanted her to have to live indefinitely in this world where they were ruling. Like, that's horrible. So yeah, you understand why this man developed such a visceral hatred for Mark, and I'd say by proxy his father, but Mark was definitely the focal point. And it looks like that strong emotional, like, storm that he had going on in him, it overtook all the other memories and all the other personas that the original, I don't know if I want to call him the original, but I will say that for the sake of argument, that the original had. And then when that whole situation happened, that's why I said I'm a little scared that if he died while portals were open, I was really scared what might happen if he'd actually passed, but he didn't. But anyways, it looks like now he's got all of those still absorbed in his head somehow, and whatever's going on, looks like his brain. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the design, and it looks to me like his brain expanded throughout his body to possibly try to house all of the stuff that he was downloading into his brain and didn't get to finish. And again, I think something would have happened regardless, but because he pulled the hamlet off mid-transfer, I guess that's how his body adapted. But anyhow, I think that angry version of himself is who's the persona who's in control right now. And again, we don't know how many worlds were similar to his too, where they just had been decimated by Omni-Man and Invincible, and they just have all this visceral hatred towards them. So anyways, gone, it seems like, for the moment, is the benevolent man that wanted to save all the worlds. And now we just have a man who's angry, viscerally angry, and wants to get revenge. And he's still able to use his portals, clearly. And God knows what else he's able to do now that like he's got all these consciousnesses in his mind. So that's going to be a very interesting villain. He's going to be crazy, clearly. And like I said, this power, I think, who knows, like maybe the power he has only been at a certain level because he was one person. But now with all these different minds, who knows what he's going to be able to do now with interdimensional travel. Like, that's a little bit terrifying. So Mark's got a lot on his plate coming up this season, no doubt. But yeah, that was our villains. Coming back to Mark, we see that Mark is still trying to deal with the aftermath of his father's death, along with his mom, or not father's death, his father's absence, I should say. But they did say in the episode that it was like he was gone. But anyhow, as I said, when we saw Mark going through and, helping people out and doing his superhero exploits, it was very clear that emotionally he was very detached. Like, he was never smiling. He never looked happy or proud of himself, especially when you look at last season when he would be so happy when he was able to use his powers for good. He was like permanent frown, like just always frowning, always looking sad, just doing these things almost on autopilot. And this is in part because he's still grieving, obviously, and not just the fact that his father is gone, but just the relationship that they had just under, like I said at the beginning of the video, realizing that this man that he'd idolized as his hero was a villain, basically, in every sense of the word. And so we see that later on that he's feeling like he needs to atone for what happened in, was it Chicago? I think it's supposed to be Chicago last season, with all the people that passed because of the fight that him and his dad were having. And he feels like he's responsible for that because he wasn't able to stop his dad from hurting people, especially when he said that's what he was going to do. But Amber tried unsuccessfully, but tried to help him understand that that was not him. Like, even though, yes, maybe he didn't need to pick a fight with his father, he couldn't have known it was going to go there. He'd never seen his father act so violently towards innocent people. Like, I don't think Mark believed his dad would do the things that he did. And he just didn't know. Like, and he's not ready. Like, Mark is powerful. We know that. And I think that he probably could be more powerful than his father. But at this point, he's so new to his power, so new to his abilities compared to his father, who's got potentially centuries of experience. There was no way he was winning that fight. But understandably, Mark is blaming himself right now because he just thinks that he should have been able to do more. And a lot of that is not just over that, but just the fact that he's, like I said, he's just sad over the whole situation. I think he's sad that he also wasn't able to appeal to his dad enough to get him to stop doing what he was doing, at least until the last minute. And so I like that Amber gave him some perspective and was like, look, you may not have been able to save those people that were directly affected by the fight, but by convincing your father to leave, he saved the rest of the planet. Like, he saved billions. Like, Omni-Man could have gone on a tear after that. But the fact that he left because of Mark, effectively, like, that's huge. And Mark's not really looking at least that small silver lining at the moment. So anyway, Mark does still have to deal with what he's got to deal with. And we see that he wanted to go back to work for Cecil and work with the Guardians of the Globe. But Cecil understandably and rightfully said that Mark needs to work out his emotional stuff first, because he's not going to be able to act and think clearly while he's running off of fury and hurt. And he's, he took Mark back because, unfortunately, as we saw, the Guardians of the Globe are struggling hard with some of these villains because they do have a lot of talent, but they're disorganized. They have gaps in, their abilities, because the original Guardians, I think, had a much better balance and powers. And obviously they had Omni-Man, which was the trump card. But now they're all kind of like smaller versions of those powers that are not organized. So having someone like Mark on the team would be game changing. And I think Adam Eve is also not working with them either right now. So there's definitely huge gaps in their abilities. And we see that Cecil's doing his best to fill them, like one with bringing the Immortal back and now a new team member, Bulletproof. I don't think Bulletproof's going to stick around for some reason. But anyway, he's trying his best. But having someone like Mark is, again, another trump card, because Mark essentially has all of Omni-Man's powers. So we see that he really needs Mark, and he did pull him in at the end kind of conditionally as long as he behaves. But Cecil understandably still has to side-eye Mark because he really does not understand or know whether or not Mark is going to stay true to protecting humanity, or if he will, in fact, switch over and decide that his father was right. And that's understandable. I mean, it's not fair. As I said in the episode, the sins of the father situation shouldn't apply to everyone, but that's the way we work as humans. Like, we look at families as patterns of behavior. And unfortunately, Mark's going to have to, unfairly, he's going to have to prove that he's not his father's son in that regard. And so that's going to be frustrating for him. And that's another issue, obviously, Mark has to deal with. And we found out it's also something he's considering too. Like, am I going to be like him? Am I going to turn out like him? But like Eve said, rightfully, it's a choice. It's a choice. Like, you don't become like your parents automatically. Like, there are choices that you make, and Mark's got a lot of work ahead of him this season, but I think he's going to come through it just fine because he still has some good people around him between Eve and Amber. We didn't see his BFF this episode, however, but we know that he's there too. But yeah, outside of that, we just had a little touch on his mother. We saw that Mark's mom is also struggling a lot, understandably. Like, I think this is hitting her even harder than Mark, truthfully, because she knew Mark's dad longer than Mark has, and she really thought she knew this man. And he just said the worst, most horrible, just diminishing things to her, about her and to her last season. And she's still struggling with that because clearly Nolan was the love of her life. And like she said, she's trying to hold it together for Mark, but it's not easy. She's grieving her husband. She's grieving her marriage. And the most devastating part of all of it is that she still loves him. And that's what makes it so hard, is like, this man's done some horrible things, but you still love him. And that's what both her and Mark are struggling with and not able to talk about yet. So I hope they get to a point where they can talk about it, because that's why another reason they're both suffering is that they're both trying to push down these emotions, but they're valid and they need to be aired out. And they're both allowed to basically say, screw Nolan, he's a jerk and he really hurt us, and really seriously screw him, right? They need to be able to say that to each other and know that it's not a reflection of whether or not they actually love him or loved him. So anyway, good episode, good way to start. We definitely set the gauntlet for the rest of the season. I am really wondering about this whole dimensional thing. Are we going to see more Marks, more Omni-Mans potentially? Like, we don't need them, God. But I just don't think that this whole interdimensional thing was just for the sake of this character. I think we're going to see more hijinks with that. And yeah, we'll see what happens as Mark gets back into the swing of being a superhero and trying to figure out that part of his life. And again, he wants to get into college now. So we'll see. We'll see if he's better at balancing the superhero versus personal side of his life this season, but I think it's still going to be a struggle for him. But it'll be fun to watch because this is really fun. This is a really, really fun episode and I enjoyed it a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love to this video and let me know in the comments what you're thinking, and we will see you in the next video.